Let's talk about compound interest. The idea in the investment and finance world is that you put some principal into, let's say, a stock index fund, right? And over time, that stock index fund is growing. It's making money. It's returning some amount of interest on the amount that you invested. Maybe you put in $100 and next year you have $114 because you made a 14% interest rate. But if you make 10% interest the following year, less interest, now you're making you've got a principal of $114 and you're getting back $11.4. And maybe the next year your sum has increased to $125 now, and so you're earning interest on top of that. You're not just making interest on the principal, you're making interest on the interest. And this gets visualized by a lot of folks in finance this way, right? Essentially, you've got a compound interest model and you're making money on your principal and you're making money on your interest. And because of this, the graph grows fast. The graph goes up. Sorry for the lighting effects. It's not perfect. It's a little mini whiteboard. I'm holding it up. But you get the idea, right? You get the idea. And this works for marketing investments as well. How does it work? Well, essentially, you can think of it like this. When you are making marketing investments in a new business or new brand, new product, you're just putting in the principal, right? You're doing marketing things. That could be, maybe it's buying ads, maybe it's doing brand marketing, perhaps it is public relations, getting articles written about you. Maybe it's you are doing, one-to-one sales outreach and marketing through that method. Could be social media marketing, could be content marketing, could be a lot of things. That's the principle. You're doing those things, and over time, that principle returns to you interest rate. The interest rate is not a financial interest rate, although there usually are financial rewards for marketing. Instead, the interest rate is attention, awareness, branding, trust, visitors, right? Traffic to your website if you're primarily doing digital marketing, more people knowing about you. That's the brand awareness bit. And from that interest, right? That's the interest you're earning on the principle of the marketing activities that you do. You get returns on top of that as well. Because every person who knows about you, right? I know that this brand sells this product or solves this problem or helps me with this issue or is associated with this field. I can learn more information from them. I trust them to know what they're talking about. Every person who is aware of that can help spread that message. And not only that, there's another kind of interest that comes from marketing investments, which is a stronger and stronger brand association from the people who do know you and a stronger association with the problems that you can solve for them. We've seen this with SparkToro over the last year and a half that we've been live essentially. We can see that more people know about our product. They know what it does. They know how it works. They know who it's for. And because of that, those people who know about it are spreading it to more people inside their organizations and their networks. And they are also building a stronger association with the problems that SparkToro can potentially solve for them, right? We see more people signing up, not just for their first time, but maybe they signed up, last year, used the product a little bit, and then they came back again this year. Maybe they've had a subscription for a long time and they're using it again and again. And there's the word of mouth spreading. So you get this compound interest, right, from the principle, the marketing activities that we're doing for SparkToro itself, and we're getting interest on the principle, and we're getting interest on the interest. We're getting not only more people, right, to get more value from the product and to understand what we do and to know about us, but they are also spreading it themselves. That's that word of mouth marketing, right? That branding that pays dividends over time. This is the idea of compound interest in marketing. And that's why it's so powerful to exist for a long time, promoting a solution to the same problem for the same crowd. This is the power of positioning and consistent marketing about that positioning. Versus, for example, when your marketing goes way off track and you start positioning yourself in different ways. Oh, we're this for these people. Oh, no, wait a minute. We're not that for those people. We're this other thing for these other people. You can see how that dilution, which essentially is like switching your investments around, right? Taking out all your money from your stock index fund and putting it all into bonds. Now you're back to principal, right? And then you earn interest on it, and you earn interest on those investments. In a way, it's almost worse because you don't get to take out all of the cash from the end of your investment. In the marketing world, you are essentially shifting gears. And I've done this before in my career. At my old company, we had one target market that we were going after. This is my old company was Moz, and we were going after professional SEOs, people who helped with search engine optimization. And then we changed gears in, 2012, right? We tried to rebrand and tried to serve a much broader market, tried to serve all these other marketers. Oh my gosh, it was disastrous, right? It took our focus off of SEO and into all of these other different spheres. And then it took, 4 or 5 years before Moz eventually kind of realized its mistake and turned back to SEO. And that's the world they're in still today in 2021. I've obviously left a long time ago, but the concept of being able to double down and earn value from your marketing investments and then benefit from the interest is incredibly powerful. Let me just give you 3 examples in the tactical world. Let's say that the investments that you're making are in my old world of search engine optimization, right? So you're getting traffic from Google, you're trying to rank higher and higher. What happens over time? More people search for your brand. Google sees that as a positive signal. More people associate your brand with words and phrases. Google sees that as a positive signal. You earn more clicks from the searches that are showing you in the results. Hopefully, right? Hopefully your click-through rate is rising because more people know about you and they like you and trust you, and you've done a better job of creating content than all your competitors, and you've earned more links and all these other ranking signals, whatever those might be. I'm no longer a professional SEO. But that is the compounding effect of interest investments in SEO. This works in PR as well. If you are constantly earning press coverage and you're building relationships with journalists and reporters and podcasters and people with YouTube channels and conferences and event organizers and people who run publications, niche publications in your industry of all kinds, what's happening right there, right? What's happening is you are building not only principal by doing those individual marketing activities, but you're also getting interest on the principal and interest on the interest of the people who've heard about you through those channels. This is the networking effect happening with compound interest in a marketing investment. It works just the same way in social media marketing. What happens when you start to build your brand on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter? As you grow your reach, your potential reach, the audience size grows. And now every new message that you send out, every new post you put up, every interaction that you have has the potential for more returns because more people might see it. And as more people potentially amplify your work, you gain more followers. And those followers now have the opportunity to see your next message. Same thing with email marketing. Exactly the same thing. More people subscribe to your email list, you have more opportunity with your email newsletter. This compound interest model is a beautiful thing, but it only works if you are consistently making these investments over long periods of time. The problem with most marketing in these ways is that it is hard to measure, and so a lot of folks give up on it early, and they don't see the effects of year 3, year 4, year 5. The same thing is true in finance, by the way. A lot of people don't leave their money in an investment in an index fund, right, for a long enough period of time. And so lots of financial advisors will be like, well, they got impatient. They pulled out their money. And it turns out the way the stock market works is that, a few days each year are really, really good. But if you don't have your money in during those really, really good days, you're going to miss out on a lot of the gains. And you get the idea, right? The analogy may not be perfect, but man, it is eerie to see the effect of compound interest in the marketing universe and to realize how few people are willing to invest that way. But if you're building a long-term brand, I really think you should.